Here at Channel Frederator, we cover a slew of conspiracy theories, as you may know. And this video is no different. Though we're going to be doing something slightly different here and revisiting a few Steven Universe theories that have garnered their fair share of corruption as the show's progressed and more facts have been revealed. Now, these aren't just Steven Universe theories we've explored in previous episodes of Cartoon Conspiracy. No. We're opening up the lion's chest and plan on debunking the vast amount of Steven Universe theories that are scattered throughout the internet. And no, I'm not talking about the silly theories like, is onion white diamond, or is sour cream secretly American electronic music DJ Marshmello? Yes, guys, that's an actual theory that I found. I may have created it myself. I write fan fiction about Steven Universe. Yes. Hey everyone, it's Akeem with Channel Frederator, and on today's Gem Fusion-filled episode of Cartoon Conspiracy, we're debunking, or at least making a concerted effort to debunk, 7 of the most prominent and widely talked about theories in the Steven Universe. Time to break down what makes Beach City weird and give you the bits. The bits! And only the bits. Expect lots of bits in this video, guys. Yeah. The first theory we have is Connie isn't 100% human. This is a theory that surfaced about a year or so ago when Connie first performed fusion with Steven, creating Stevonnie, and Connie's subsequent training to protect Steven and fight alongside him with the crystal gems. The Tumblr theory explores the possibility of Connie's distant ancestors potentially being a gem-human hybrid. Now, the theory goes on to say that if said ancestor were male mating with a human female, their quarter-human offspring probably wouldn't have a gem. But that offspring would, however, in fact have some traces of gem DNA. Now, while this is a great theory, I'd have to ask the question, if this theory were in fact true, then how the hell do you explain a male gem having sex with a female human? I don't want to go into a long explanation about the birds and the bees here. For the sake of a children's show, let's just say it's easier to explain the process if it's a female gem and a male human. I mean, since gems are in fact made of light, it can simply be explained that the female gem gives birth, and since her and her hybrid child shared a singular gemstone and cannot exist in the same time and place, well, she simply ceased to exist, and thus, a manner of speaking, becomes her child, i.e. Steven. Not to mention, there is no actual gem DNA that exists. They're made of light, for crying out loud. So it would be kind of Kim possible, yes, Kim possible, for a being made of pure light to impregnate a human woman. I mean, they'd literally be shooting blanks. Very dull light bulb. Next theory up is the theory of Jasper being a gem fusion. Now, this particular theory is a bit of a stretch, but it goes on to talk about how Jasper might be a homeworld gem fusion experiment. People have brought up many different points to prove this to be somewhat true, such as the stripes we see on Jasper being similar to that of those seen in the cluster, and the notion that she may be hiding her second gem. First off, Jasper is a homeworld gem, not part of the cluster. Let's get that right. Now, Jasper's stripes are a mere representation of the demarcations found on any Jasper gemstone. So there, ha! Boom. Not to mention that in the That Will Be All episode of Steven Universe, we see a skinny Jasper that looks similar to our bulky Jasper. Stripes that also bear a resemblance to the actual gemstone as well. So there you go. And if Jasper were in fact hiding her second gemstone, when she fused with Lapis to form Malachite, we would have inevitably seen more than just the gem on their nose and back. This theory, I'm totally calling BS on it. In fact, we kind of did already when we explored this very theory in depth years ago. Now let's take a look at a more recent theory that emerged from the latest episode, Jungle Moon. Connie was seen staring at Captain Lars alongside Steven, but if you look closely within her eyes, you may have seen diamonds. And of course, later in the episode, we saw Connie's mother was depicted as Yellow Diamond, and Connie, as the gem fusion between herself and Stevonnie, were depicted as Pink Diamond. Now, some have taken to the notion that this may be some sort of foreshadowing that perhaps Connie's family lineage is potentially connected to the Diamond Authority, specifically Pink Diamond. This leads us back to the gem hybrid theory discussed earlier, which we've discussed, and I gave points against that particular argument. Now, for this particular one, first off, we've seen other human characters on the show pictured with diamonds in their eyes. Earlier in the show, the diamonds were more concave, resembling sparkles, similar to what you may have seen in an anime when someone is longfully looking and staring at an object of their desire. Yeah. As the show progresses, which typically happens in animation, the art style slightly changes or becomes more simplistic for mass production. We all know how much the art style of Steven Universe has changed over the years, with the incredibly shrinking Peridot. Seriously, she's like almost microscopic size at this point. This is just another one of those particular theories where people are seemingly reading far more into it to unearth something that, well, just isn't there. Now here's one that's still circulating. Onion isn't human. Partly because he's so damn weird, but mainly because when you look at him, he's lacking something that most human beings have. Have you ever noticed it? Look closely. Ears, guys, come on, ears, don't you? He's missing ears. Seriously, where the hell is this boy's ears? The only thing we know of in the Steven universe that doesn't have ears are gems. So because of this, people have long speculated that Onion is harboring a dark, demented secret soon to be revealed. Sure, but his mom is Vidalia and his father is Yellowtail. And Yellowtail, whose ears we've also never seen because, that fisherman's hat he's always wearing. Yellowtail is also rarely present and constantly traveling, but ultimately he's a human being and an ancillary character within the Steven Universe series, meaning his impact and significance in the story and the overall story arc isn't much, or at least hasn't been explored up to this particular point. Onion's overall design and lack of ears is just a design choice by the creators. Having ears or lacking ears shouldn't be considered a defining point. In the pilot episode of Steven Universe, I'm almost certain I saw a decent pair of ears on Pearl. I bring it up merely to say that it's basically just a character design choice, guys. Although I gotta admit, Pearl with ears looks awesome. The next one, I'm sure you've read it. Get this, guys. Rose Quartz is lion. You know what? I'm not even sure if I'm gonna humor this particular one. It's absurd. It's really absurd. If that were in fact the truth, that would mean that Steven is possibly Lars. The reason I say this, now stay with me here, guys, please stay with me. The reason I say this is based on the connection between Lion and Lars. And on top of that, we know that Lars was brought back to life due to Steven's magical tears. It's a scenario we can only postulate parallels that of what might have happened between Rose and Lion. I mean, picture this, guys. Lion might have died. Rose sprinkled some of her magical, sad tears onto Lion from her tear ducts, and then poof, the Lion we all know and love was created. So yes, Lion isn't Rose. She's her son, guys, which is even stranger than being a lion when you think about it. Now, one that I'm personally responsible for is a video I made theorizing about Lars of the Stars and what was in store for us as fans. That this was in fact going to be revealed to be a new spin-off series. Yes, that's what I theorized. I mean, now admittedly, it wasn't a very strong theory, yes. I partially based it on the fact that Lars of the Stars just has such a nice ring to it title-wise. And the fact that with the off-colors and the introduction of the homeworld gem Emerald, it seemed as though the creators were gearing up to build out a soon-to-be-explored world based on Lars's adventures in space. Now, while this particular theory hasn't been debunked exactly, based on what we know is coming up down the pipeline for Cartoon Network's animation lineup, well, there hasn't been much murmurings about such a thing existing, or soon to exist. In fact, I can remember the last time Cartoon Network had a show that warranted its own spin-off, except for I Am Weasel, which was a spin-off of Cow and Chicken, and Evil Con Carne, which was a spin-off of The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Both awesome shows, seriously. Now, that was the 90s, which was an amazing time for animation. I'd like to think that Steven Universe would be that very show to bring back such tried and true methods in animation. But there doesn't seem to be much conversation around such an awesome thing happening. Guess my damn theory was wrong. Coming in at number 1 on the top Steven Universe theories that have either been debunked or just might soon be proven wrong is Pink Diamond and her remains lie in the lion's chest. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This hasn't been proven one way or the other to be false or true. The reason I bring it up, though, is for us to have more of a conversation around this particular theory and see if we can logic our way into an answer. Now, coming from someone such as myself who believes that Pink Diamond isn't exactly shattered, now I obviously don't believe her shattered remains to be within the chest. But if I were to play devil's advocate for a second, perhaps when Pink Diamond was in fact shattered, out of respect for her diamond and fellow gem, Rose Quartz wanted to preserve her remains. If Rose and Pink Diamond were on opposing forces, and a fight did in fact ensue between the both of them, and Rose came out the victor, it wouldn't be beyond Rose's caring nature to want to preserve Pink Diamond's gem remains. I mean, after all, she did in fact bubble bismuth and store her within Lion's Mane. You know what? There's actually a strong possibility that Pink Diamond's remains just might be in that chest. Or it could just be a chest full of old gold Rose decided to keep from her many adventures that she's gone on. I mean, after all, looking at the Lion 4 alternate ending episode where Steven discovered what appeared to be Pink Diamond's abandoned ship, Rose Quartz might have been a hardcore hoarder. Okay, so the last one could possibly go either way, depending upon which side of the fence you fall upon, based on what you believe happened to Pink Diamond. Hopefully, you're on hashtag Team Akeem on this one. She ain't shattered. But if you really need a 7th one that holds up to scrutiny, Onion is not White Diamond, Pearl is not Rose Quartz, and Peridot is not Dende from OKKO. Although yes, I believe they talk in a sometimes monotonous manner and have an affinity for technology. But that's it. That's where it ends. But you know what? I want to hear from you guys. What are some of the Steven Universe theories you've heard, maybe us or just on the internet, that have been debunked based on current episodes of Steven Universe? Also, what are some of the ones you want to see us explore in future episodes of Cartoon Conspiracy? And if you think I may have missed a few points in any of the Steven Universe theories I attempted to debunk in this video, sound off in the comment section down below. If there's any future Cartoon Conspiracy ideas you have, toss them our way and you just might see it in a future video. Be sure to join our notification squad and stay up to date when we're dropping new vids. This was Cartoon Conspiracy. I'm Akeem with ChannelFrederator, reminding you guys to always remember and never forget, Frederator loves you.